I've been sitting with these photos from my trip to Alaska, and there's an energy in them I couldn't quite put into words until now. It's that feeling of being completely raw, completely yourself, in the middle of something much bigger than you. For me, that something bigger has been a very long, very honest conversation with the Morrigan. If you've spent any time in pagan or witchy circles, you've heard the labels: Goddess of War, Phantom Queen, Death Crone. But in my experience, she is so much more than a battlefield. She is the goddess of sovereignty. She isn't here to start a war in my life. She's here to help me win the one I'm already fighting for my own soul. One of the biggest lessons she's given me is the gift of unfiltered honesty. We're taught, especially as women, to be soft. We round off our edges so we don't poke people. We stay in relationships or situations where we're being diminished because we're afraid of the war that happens when we say no. When the Morrigan speaks to me, she doesn't beat around the bush. She's very direct. She points to the places where I'm lying to myself and says, "Why are you allowing this?" It's not a cold demand. It's a strategist's advice. She's taught me that standing up for yourself isn't mean, it's sovereign. It's about recognizing the pattern of giving your power away and choosing, for the first time, to keep it for yourself. I want to share something a bit personal that isn't widely talked about in the modern paganism that I have encountered, and that is the concept of a Geis, or a spiritual devotion. For a long time, I was stubborn. I didn't listen to the calls to change the things that I knew I was supposed to change. But as our relationship became a mutual exchange of respect, I took on some specific acts of devotion. For me, that looks like daily braiding. It's a way of weaving my intentions into my physical body. And even more deeply, it was the call to reclaim my hormonal health. So even with my tubes tied, the Morrigan pushed me to get off of birth control and to stop the synthetic softening of my cycles and allow my natural female authority to be the absolute ruler of my biology. Educationally, we often see her as one entity, but she is a tapestry. You have Badb, the crow, who influences the mind and intuition. You have Macha, who is the land and the physical boundary. And you have Anu, the mother of the gods, who provides the abundance and the strategy. When you look at them through a sovereign lens, they represent different ways we protect our dirt. Badb is the intuition that tells you a situation is wrong. Macha is the strength to set the boundary. Anu is the wisdom to know what to do next. She has taught me that I have all three of these within me. I don't need a guru or a law to tell me how to live, because I have the great queen's blueprint in my own blood. If you feel her speaking to you, don't be afraid. She isn't there to take from you. She's there to remind you of what you've forgotten you had. She's been with me through the hardest transitions, including navigating the failing health of a family member, teaching me that death and change are just parts of a sovereign cycle. You don't need a map, you just need to listen. What is she speaking to you about right now? Where are you being called to stand a little taller? Thank you for checking me out here at Sovereign Mythos. We're going to keep diving into these woo-woo topics: demonology, divination, mythology, all from this perspective of mutual respect and personal path walking. Take care of yourselves, and remember, rule your own dirt.